friends, it's Lisa here from Arcaneandstellar, and I'm here with a timeless pick a card reading with the question, what's happening in the next 10 days? So we'll get some quick, interesting answers. We're going to find out what's going on, what to be aware of, everything else that you need to know at this present moment. Now, this is timeless, as I mentioned, so you can come to it at any point in time if you're feeling intuitively drawn, and you can gather a message for yourself. So we have 4 different groups to choose from. We have number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, these are all kind of similar stones, but they do have some differences. I will be doing a zoom in on them if you want to see them close up. They have words on the other side, actually. So I haven't looked at them, so I'm not sure which one is which, but yeah, we'll see in the reading. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe, comment, like if you can, and I will go ahead and get started and see you in your reading. Hello, my friends. So if you chose group number 1, this is going to be your reading. I'm going to be using the Good Tarot today. This was actually the first ever deck that someone purchased off my wish list, and it was Allison. Allison's amazing, but it's so sad because her note has faded. I kept it in the box. I usually keep the notes in the box. Yeah, it's faded so badly. I don't know why. I guess the ink isn't very good, is it? So we have these 2 cards, and then we'll be shuffling out some more. So I'm going to cleanse the area and get started. So take a deep breath and relax. We're going to get started. Ooh, so you've got the love stone here, the stone that says love. So love could be a big aspect of the next 10 days, focusing on what you love, who you love, and that sort of thing. But let's see how that plays out as we kind of continue. So we've got the overall card here is raise your vibration. Now, raise your vibration actually can show a sense of achievement happening in the next 10 days. This can talk about receiving documentation, certification, or even like a reward of some kind as well. And this can be something that acknowledges your growth or your experience. So yeah, it's really nice because it feels like you guys could be recognized for something. And this says here that you've overcome many challenges and you've risen above adversity, judgment, and possibly even abuse. You are ascending spiritually and personally at this time, and the universe is supporting you. This is a pathway of light, the pathway of your soul's evolution, ascension. So there's a rising above, in this next 10 days where you're really rising above. Perhaps you're having a lot of connection to your higher self as well. Let me see. What kind of energy are they in over the next 10 days? We've got the King of Fire there. I love it. Lots of orange and red in these cards. So living from your heart space is one thing I'm really getting. Acting from the heart. And confidence and, boldness here as well. For some of you, there might be a nurturing of a relationship here, because I do see the King of Fire having that heart in his hands. And with the love stone, of course, I also think of that. Perhaps feeling more loved, extending more love, that sort of thing. With my deck, we have helpful item. A helpful item appears. And information. Knowledge is coming. So I feel like there's some great information coming your way. That's going to really confirm your own knowledge. Okay, I think that's really what's actually being confirmed here with that raise your vibration card and then my information card. So some sort of knowledge and awareness is coming forward in the next 10 days as well. The helpful item appears. So for some of you, you might be coming across a book or a course or specific kind of item that's going to help you. Maybe it's a card that you need to get somewhere. Maybe it's some sort of item is coming your way. It's like I wanted to make bread, and I was actually manifesting one of those mixers, KitchenAid. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll never buy one for myself. And then my mom decided to buy a new one and give me hers. And so that was it worked out really well because I was actually borrowing hers. And then she's like, why don't you just keep it and I'll buy myself another one. And you know what I mean? And it was that helpful item so I can make bread. So for some of you, it's you're going to get some sort of item that's actually going to be helpful to you, whether it's, a fitness tracker or to keep track of your health and your sleep, or it's there's some sort of helpful item coming to you in the next 10 days that's going to be useful. We have a wound as well. I feel like you're actually getting over certain fears and wounds here because with that raise your vibration, some of you actually, it's so interesting. There's a lot about knowledge in your next 10 days. We have academia, learning and education, information as well coming through. So I really feel like a lot of you may be focused on learning something or educating yourself on something or trying to dig into something new. Whatever the subject, it doesn't have to be academic. It could be like life knowledge, like you're trying to learn how to do something, to create something. Maybe you're learning a new hobby, or, you know, and maybe that helpful item comes in to help you. I feel like somehow the helpful item could play into these things. But I feel like your vibration's really rising above wounds and fears. And a lot of fears, they come from wounds that we've previously had. That's what happens. We get wounded, and then we have fears develop from these wounds. You know, we're afraid to get hurt again, or we're afraid to, you know, trip again or fall, you know, that sort of thing. Okay, so the next 10 days, honor or respect will come to you, and that's what raise your vibration. You guys, over the next 10 days, you're going to see some love extended to you. I feel like someone in particular, perhaps even a masculine energy, might be really honoring you in some way, kind of showing some sort of respect here. We also have the broken ring and marriage. Oh man, that's really interesting. And you'll receive a gift. The helpful item could come as a gift. Now, what's interesting here is that we have broken ring and marriage. Some of you might, okay, there's a few things. To me, the ring represents the idea of contract or a promise or something, you know, like a situation where two things are tied together. And this could mean that something is restored here, especially because the broken ring came out first and then marriage came out second. Marriage has often come out for me, like for people, like in personal readings, as like, you know, signing a contract as an example. Okay, so it doesn't always mean marriage in a literal sense. Obviously, I know some of you will be watching and you're like, what? What do you mean, Lisa? What do you mean? And no, and it can really talk about, you know, renewing something, or maybe it's like a better contract comes along if you've had like a previous, because it's also romance or business, right? So I feel like there actually could be maybe something better coming around here. We have a sincere wish will be granted. And we've got August. So I don't know if August might be important to you guys somehow at the time of this reading. Maybe it's a confirmation for something for you. For some of you, it won't have to. I don't think it'll resonate with everyone, obviously, but August could be pivotal. But it also makes me think of like the last kind of month of the summer. Makes me think of like, well, at least in the Northern Hemisphere, but it's always kind of like that last kind of finale. And that I think somehow plays into this next 10 days. But I definitely see a gift coming your way, a wish being granted, and a lot of like there's a sense of honor and respect coming to you. And maybe where you thought something was broken, you find out it's mended. Maybe if you were feeling a lot of fear or wounds, or, you know, worried about something, and you're like, I don't know if it's going to work out. Maybe you find out it's going to work out. It's going to be fine. Everything's fine. You know, that's the biggest thing I'm getting. So again, I really think this could be a really positive 10 days for you, especially in terms of like, you know, restoring something that was broken, whether it was like, you know, being jobless as an example. Say you lost a job as an example, you might be finding a new one, or you'll get at least the information to kind of get yourself into a better position. Maybe some of you are introduced to that information, or, you know, in any case, I really do see something solid coming through to replace something that's a bit broken or hasn't been working right in some way, whether it's a real relationship, you know, like a relationship, or, you know, something else in your life. But yeah, and I definitely see a gift coming, and it is like a sign of respect or honor, like someone's giving you something as a way to honor you and to show that they care, or that, you know, you're doing well, or something like that. So that's the vibe I'm getting. Let me see if there are any other final messages. Going to be using the Archangels and Gemstone Guardian cards. Okay, so any other further messages, Spirit, for this particular group for the next 10 days? Azurite. Oh, I love Azurite. I have a really small piece somewhere. Do you want to improve your and trust your intuition? Activate your third eye and exercise your sensory gifts. You'll receive messages from the divine all the time. And it's now time to notice the signs, interpret them, and use the higher guidance to create ease in your life. So perhaps some of you might do well to work with Azurite over the next 10 days to work on intuition, based practices. I'm extremely intuitive. My spirit guides and angels send me messages all the time, and I'm grateful for divine guidance. My mind is clear and all knowledge is available. I awaken my consciousness. I'm calm. I'm at peace. So that's one thing too, is like, that's the best time to get intuition is when we clear our mind. If we're not grounded, if our mind's all cluttered and running every which way. This might be something that you could really work on over the next 10 days. So with that being said, I think I'll go ahead and stop here. I want to thank you guys so much for being here, and I hope that this reading was helpful and insightful for you over the next 10 days, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Okay? Take care and goodbye. Hello, my friends. So if you've chosen the second group with this particular stone, this is going to be your reading. Now let's see what the word is. Believe. So the word believe is coming through for the next 10 days, as well as intuition and downloads. This is really interesting about intuition and downloads because we have believe coming out as well. And I kind of just place the stones randomly, just kind of trying to intuitively set them down. And I feel like a lot of you are going to be getting some really strong psychic signals, signs that are meant to kind of help you believe in yourself and your abilities. That's what I'm really getting for you, okay? So that's going to be one of the factors. I'm going to be taking a lot more predictive cards as well, but this is interesting. This can, signs in like sort of intuition can come through signs such as like high-pitched noises, seeing flickers of light, and maybe dreams as an example, or sometimes it could be feelings or thoughts. It feels like you guys are having a lot of intuitive moments, a lot of like kind of higher realm downloads over the next 10 days. So that's really interesting. For me, one of the signs I get myself, and I, would love to hear what you guys receive. Do you guys receive signs, and how do they come to you? For me, a lot of times it can be smoke. I see like a fog, and it's really weird. I've been seeing it lately again, and I see it from time to time, and it's like a fog, and it just appears. Like at one time my daughter and I saw it come between us. That was really crazy because it was really thick, and it was just in the middle of the room. There was no candle, nothing to make it, like I swear. And it just like came up and went to the ceiling and dissipated. But I often will see it from time to time. Or orbs are popular. I honestly have only seen one orb myself, but in life, and it was yellow, bright yellow, and like Tinkerbell. It was like a Tinkerbell. Like it was just crazy. But yeah, it's like I feel like you guys will be, and I remember seeing that and I was like, am I crazy? Am I crazy? And no, it's like, and some of you might even say that to yourself. Am I crazy? Did I really see that? Did I hear that? Like, did that happen? And it's like, no, you need to believe. And for some of you, it might be believing in your intuition and not letting yourself overthink it. The message of this card is that you're a light worker, and it means that you have the capacity to bring light to earth through your presence and purpose. Okay, even though you may feel sensitive and overwhelmed, know that your gifts are stronger now and your psychic muscles are moving. You're being encouraged to look beyond what your physical eyes are showing you. You may want to use what you pick up to plan ahead. If so, it's important to keep your mind and energy focused on the best possible outcome. Be aware of signs and symbols showing up at this time. Your angels are sending you important messages that will help you move forward in life. Very beautiful. So let's move on to some more kind of predictive stuff here. So definitely a lot of intuition coming through over the next 10 days. Ooh, we have got the Two of Fire. And let me see here. I'm going to pull a few from my Oracle deck. Next 10 days, what's happening? Ooh, we've got travel. That's funny because the Two of Fire can talk about that. Okay. And we've got information. So this one came out for group number 1 actually as well. Information, knowledge is coming. Again, I think it's a lot of intuitive information actually. But it actually can help you move in some way. I think that's one of the aspects of having that, that light flashed. with intuition and downloads, travel, and information, it feels like there's information coming that's actually going to help you move. Like, not move in a literal sense, like you have to move to a new place. Maybe it will be. But I feel like it's more of like making progress. You know what I mean? Like there's some sort of progress that can come out of this. It's funny actually in the Good Tarot. This is a Good Tarot, by the way, if you're curious about the deck. And it's funny because in the guidebook, it refers to this card as trusting in the unknown. And it's so weird because I feel like you guys are going to be faced with this feeling of, I've got to leap, I've got to jump, and I've just got to trust this feeling. So definitely trust yourself, you know, and don't overthink things or try to rationalize it. If you're feeling drawn to do something, Spirit's calling you to do it, okay? Now, this can talk about progress as well, and that there's already some sort of progress made. And I feel like a lot of the intuition that's coming to you in the form of like, you know, these downloads is going to help you move even farther, okay? This can talk about, you know, creatively planning for the future. And again, there may be a desire to actually travel, by the way. And you will probably go somewhere new in these next 10 days, right? Because that's also, this travel card does talk about, you know, you will go somewhere new, right? So you'll probably go somewhere new, whether it's a new restaurant or, you know, a new park or a new city or a new place. Next 10 days. Ooh, we have affirmation. What is the truth that you need to hear right now? What needs to be validated in you, and what will create inspiration and resonance within you? So we're affirming ourselves over the next 10 days. Affirming our identity through action. It's like becoming who you really want to be and taking those actions to create that future for yourself. You know what I mean? Like kind of digging into who you really want to be. Interesting, 2 focus areas cards came out. And so we've got that selfhood, introspection, and identity, as well as wellness, health, and self-care. So this is a, you know, time to really take care of yourself, to focus on yourself. And what's interesting here is that we have that compromise. It says to negotiate, to reach out, a mutual agreement, to figure out a solution for everyone involved. And we have that affirmation, what needs to be validated in you. For some of you, it may be like, do I make a compromise or not? I feel here, honestly, it's like, what do you feel the most comfortable with? What do you feel is intuitively right? For some of you, it might feel like the Jiminy Cricket is kind of on your shoulder, where it's like you've got to make certain choices, and you'll have the information to do it in a way that feels right with you as well. So, yeah. Okay, now let's get some tea cards and see what else is coming through. Let me kind of move these over. Sorry, I'm like not looking at my camera because it's kind of up above. So sometimes I'm not paying too much attention to what's going on up there. I gotta remember that. Okay, so next 10 days, what's occurring? We've got compliments from an admirer. So certainly some compliments coming your way. We've also got a darker woman in your life. We have a period of prosperity and abundance. We have dog close up, which is pleasure with a close friend. So I do see friendship around you in the next 10 days. Perhaps even encouragement from a friend, or again, just spending good time with a friend. It says a woman here right above it, so we could show a woman with a darker complexion or darker hair. Stepping into a new experience. I love it. You'll go somewhere new. Absolutely. You know what I want to tell you, and I know this is an interesting message to come through, but some of you are going to have the option to buy something. Don't compromise, okay? In terms of buying something, I feel like if you compromise too much on something, you're going to end up kind of losing what you invested, or it's just not the best investment for you. Don't put yourself second or your desires second. I know sometimes we have to make those like consolations. We just kind of have to do it, or compromises, sorry. But I feel like for some of you, it's like you're really going to be faced with something where it's like, oh, you know, should I get this or this? This one's cheaper, but I really wanted that one. Yeah, it feels like go for what you really want. Don't, because it's like, it feels like some of you are manifesting something, and sometimes when we're manifesting, the universe sends us tests, and it will sort of be like compromising positions. Like say we want, you know, a job that gives us $50, you know, an hour, let's just say, right? And then we get this sort of job that comes in that's like $42 an hour. So it's not quite 50, but say it has most of the qualities that you're looking for, but it kind of goes a bit lower than what you were hoping for. Now, you know, some people might stop there and say, okay, that's good enough for me. But sometimes that can happen when we're trying to manifest. And it feels like here it might be like that there's a second best option that comes through, and it's like you could take it, but I feel like for some of you, especially those of you that are going to be drawn to an item in particular, or something, it's like just don't don't make an investment that's second guess, you know, it's just a second helping, or not second helping, like dang it, like a second choice. There we go. Like a alternative choice. It might be better to go for the real thing, or find out what you really want. Okay, even maybe it's like, because it just feels like maybe you would be making like a loss of money or something from it. It's like, oh, you get it and then you won't even like it that much or whatever, you know. We have the compliments from an admirer, so I do see someone admiring you, complimenting you. This could be complimenting you on a job well done, as an example, or someone just, you know, kind of saying, okay, I really like you, or you're a really great person, or, you know, giving you compliments that make you smile. And then we have that bread, prosperity and abundance. Some of you might be really worried about financial stuff at the beginning of the 10 days, by the way, but we see here at the end bread, and bread says that there's enough. Bread and salt, there's enough. You have prosperity, you have abundance. So I want to say towards the end of the 10 days, you should be feeling a lot more secure financially, especially for those of you that are feeling a bit insecure at the beginning. We also have that stepping into a new experience, which I think goes really well with traveling, okay? Because it's like you guys are doing something new. And again, like I said, it doesn't have to mean traveling on an airplane somewhere. It could be going, you know, to the next town, or going to a festival you've never been to before. There's going to be something. And I really feel like Spirit's like, you know, take those. Especially take those opportunities. And especially if you're feeling intuitively drawn somewhere. Because I feel like that's where, you know, you might really find benefit. So yeah. That is what I'm seeing for those of you that chose this group. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading, and let me know in the comments below what you thought. And I just wish you nothing but the best. Take care, guys, and I'll see you next time. Hello, my friends. If you've chose group number 3 here, this is going to be your reading for the next 10 days. So, timeless message. Let's get started. Oh, we've got hope here. So each stone had a word underneath it, and I just kind of randomly, you know, intuitively put them down. I didn't see what was there, but you have the hope stone. So hope could be a big theme over the next 10 days. We also have holy love. Now, this is a beautiful card of self-awareness, but also self-love. And it's not self-love in the sense of you treating yourself better, but it's knowing that you deserve love, or knowing that there's love around you from the heavenly realms, right? So this can talk about being surrounded by loving energy. And it can talk about your angels kind of gathering around you and trying to remember, like trying to get you to remember, how loved you are. And knowing that you are loved beyond, you know, your wildest imagination. So, what a beautiful card. Let's see what else comes out. So I've got out my good tarot. So what is up for the next 10 days for this group? We've got the Nine of Air and the King of Fire. That's really interesting. So the Nine of Air, of course, we know can represent the idea of anxiety. So I really do feel like for those of you that will be in an anxious energy, it's like your spirit guides want you to know that there's hope. Maybe some of you are going through a little bit of a challenge, and I would say it's not a challenge that you don't expect. There just might be something on your mind that you're nervous about, whether it's an exam, a court date, or something else that could be just making you feel a bit more nervous, a little bit like maybe more of a negative talk. There's definitely this message of that shifting. And maybe for some of you, if you've been feeling a little negative, a little bit worried, there's, that sense of like a more positive mindset coming through. This talks about self-talk with self-compassion, okay? So talking to yourself with a compassionate voice. Your spirit guides could call you out right now, actually, for being like hard on yourself. Saying things like, oh, I'm too stupid. Oh, sorry, I'm such an idiot. Or words like that. It's like you verbally affirming bad things about yourself or things that put you down as an example. So if you've been doing that, there's definitely a call to have faith and hope in yourself, to talk to yourself in an affirming manner as well. It's not about putting yourself down, okay? Now, we also have the King of Fire, which can talk about a spiritual influencer or even somebody who's like a leader of some kind, especially in a spiritual sense in this deck. This can talk about being confident in your own abilities and your vision, right? But also taking in new ideas, not being too afraid to do those. So I feel like that there could be a masculine energy that's going to be really relieving some sort of anxiety or worry. There could be a masculine energy that's really showing love to you or care in some way. We have friendship, our friendship blossoms from my oracle deck. Let's see. We've also got advice. Good advice will come your way. So I see wonderful advice coming from a friend. And that's going to be one of the things that you should really look out for over the next 10 days. Because it's good advice that's really going to help you. And again, there's that friendship. We also have blessing in disguise. And then we have flirt, a flirtatious experience. So I took a few more for you guys than I did for the other groups. But yeah, we have a flirtatious experience coming your way. Maybe for some of you, if you've been anxious over whether someone likes you or, if they want to be around you or something, it could be that, there's a chance to kind of get to know someone deeper and even maybe turn a friendship into a flirtship. A flirtship. Oh my God, okay. But we also have that blessing in disguise. So watch out for blessings in disguises. Because to me, it's like something that, it's like you go into like a place and you didn't even know you would get that blessing. I remember once I went into, it was a restaurant, and I'd never been there before, but I started talking to the owner about, it was actually about Arabic music because, anyway, and we started talking about, different singers and stuff like that, and he gave me like a baklava, like just on the house, like just to be sweet. And you know what I mean? Like it could be that there's like a situation that you walk into and you're like, it turns out like kind of nice. Like there's a little blessing there that happens to you. You know what I mean? Also, it could be that blessings come from people that you wouldn't even expect. We have upbringing. So what limiting beliefs or values were taught to you that still affect you today? What unresolved trauma or negativity have you experienced during your upbringing that still holds power over you? I feel like that there's victory here in this regard, okay? We have victory. And you could be really overcoming some sort of thing from the past or something with your upbringing. You may be identifying certain things that hold you back, whether they're little habits or, ideas about yourself. Or there's at least a call for you to do so. What's happening over the next 10 days? Unsuccessful outcome to a problem. Let's see. We've got career. News is on the way. Let's see what else comes through. We also have Dark Woman and Reconciliation. Some of you might actually have an apology coming in over the next 10 days. There could be a desire to reconcile on someone. Someone could be coming forward with that, by the way. Especially those of you with friendship issues, because that friendship blossoms. For some of you, that may be kind of playing into maybe someone disappointed you, and they could be coming back around to say sorry or to kind of rectify things to fix the situation between the two of you. So I could definitely see that happening for some of you. It doesn't have to be a friend. It could be, something at work as an example even. By the way, there could be some kind of career problem that's fixed as well. We have the Hermit. You might see a lot of keys as signs this week, I feel. Some of you might be emerging a little bit more than usual. You might be asked to kind of take yourself out of hiding. We have the Hermit, the Empress, and the Seven of Air. There's something here about, again, avoiding perhaps you're avoiding how amazing you are in some way. I feel like some of you might be not exactly appreciating yourself enough. This also could be about not really people pleasing or not trying to be a people pleaser, especially with the Empress. But even the Seven of Air in this deck can talk about independence, non-conformity as well. So you might be doing things a little bit independently or a little bit differently than usual. You might be even doing something in general a little bit more. There might be a solitude at times here where you're just sort of doing your own thing. It could be about regrouping and introspection, times of that. And it says, when I step back, I retreat, I regroup and renew. I have a clear perspective on everything in my life. And I really feel like that's going to be coming through for you over the next 10 days. I really do feel, though, with the Empress here, don't hold yourself back. I feel like a lot of you actually are very, attractive, extra amazing. And you could really have more flirtations come towards you if you really put yourself out there. I feel like with the Sandwich by the Hermit and the Seven of Air, there needs to be that knowledge of hey, don't hide yourself away. Don't hide your light away. Don't try to be nervous or, kind of hold back in any way. Because I feel like that there's a lot to be recognized here in you. The career could be important. Let me see. What's happening with career? What's the vibe there? We have that good advice, so maybe there'll be some good advice when it comes to career. But I feel like there's some sort of news coming in career. Some of you, if you've been disappointed in career, I wonder if there could be a reconciliation of some kind, or somehow some sort of information comes through that's regarding something that fell apart. We have the Tower, which can kind of be a bit of a difficult card, as some of you know, and I don't feel like it's bad news coming your way, especially not with the other things. This can show that things happen really quickly, the Tower. It can talk about you kind of unexpected events. So it might be quite unexpected in some way. This can also be a theory being affirmed, or some sort of focus. Maybe you're focusing on rebuilding something that was disappointing in the past. But I think that you're really getting there with this. I feel like somehow things could be moving forward. In fact, if something happened where it really fell apart, remember, this could be a blessing in disguise. This could be something that, was meant to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's the type of thing where this needed to happen because it's actually a blessing. Some of you might really find that out, and it's you're going to have that clear understanding. And you're going to be wow, I was being looked out after. So, What an interesting message. I really, guys, hope that you like this reading and it helps you over the next 10 days. Please like, subscribe, comment if you have the time. And if you would like to see more content, of course, for subscribing. But I wish you the very best and I hope you have a wonderful next 10 days and I'll see you in the next reading. Hello, my friends. So if you've chosen this last group, this is going to be a reading. So let's get started. So the next 10 days, I've kind of selected this stone here with some words on it's a word on the other side. I don't know which one it is because I haven't looked, but we have faith. So faith can be a really big topic for you over the next 10 days. Having faith and hope and all of that good stuff. So we have the card, cut the cords, as sort of an overall kind of message here. Cut the cords is wonderful because it tells me that you will probably be letting go of a lot of attachments over the next 10 days, or at least one big one, okay? This can talk about when we hang on to a situation that we know is unhealthy or negative. We are releasing ourselves from it with this energy. We're cutting those cords, those things that really just kind of keep us tied to a situation, a person, a place, or something that kind of drags us down in a negative sense and kind of keeps us back from moving forward. And this can talk about dissolving connections that are hooking you into negative situations. Again, this could be situations. It could be choices that you make that are unhealthy for you. So this is about finding new ways forward, okay? Because the new ways are going to be more rewarding than the previous. So what an interesting message, just kind of right off the bat. Let's see. Ooh, we have the 6 of Earth. Okay. So what are you investing your time in? What is it equal? Is it giving? Is it useful for you? I think that's one of the things to look at. This also can talk about unexpected resources coming your way, as well as happy surprises and generosity. So you might find that you are receiving, generosity over the next 10 days, right? It could talk about unexpected resources and help showing up as well. So somebody could be giving you something, Let's see what else comes through here with my oracle. So next 10 days, what can they expect? Okay. We have the message card. You'll receive a happy message. So some sort of message you're wanting to hear is going to come through, or one that maybe you don't know that you need to hear, but it will come through. We also have winner. The odds are in your favor. Ooh, so you are in the odds to win. We have you'll receive a gift. Okay, I told you. Yeah, there's some sort of gift or help coming your way over the next 10 days. Ooh, oh my God, look at this. Your wealth is increasing. We have money. Look at that. Your wealth increases. So you had a few cards come out in my deck. So we have the message. You're going to receive a happy message, a message that lifts you up. And then we have the winner card. So the odds are in your favor to win. So like I always say, when this card comes out, and any card that implies winning, make sure you're playing the games. Make sure you're trying, okay? You might have, winning streak in a video game as an example even, or some of you might win a scratch ticket or a giveaway. I won a bike not too long ago, like in I think it was August. I won like a bike at a liquor store. It's a what's that brand? White Claw. It's a White Claw bike. It's really cute. But yeah, some of you might be like winning something. And then again, that gift and money. Yeah, it's like there's security here over the next 10 days coming in. There's a sense of security, of an increase is what I get. We also have compassion. One way for you to kind of cut cords, especially, might be to show compassion. Sometimes the best way when we're feeling frustrated in a situation is just to be like, okay, well, maybe they don't know any better, or maybe that's how they think things are. And it's sort of like just calling on empathy and compassion within ourselves so we can just move forward. It's almost like, it's not like we're meant to be sort of like cocky and think, okay, well, maybe they just are naive, or they just don't know any better. but that kind of mindset might be helpful in some way for you guys. Okay, we also have goals, productivity, and habits. So again, you might be really focused on cutting the cords to certain habits, okay, that aren't good for you. Whether it's thinking about a certain person or thinking about a situation that's not healthy, you know what I mean? Like maybe getting stuck in a loop on the past, you know, or bringing up this old situation. I feel like you guys might be creating new goals, and I do feel like there is productivity, okay? What's interesting is we have haystack karma. You'll reap what you've sown. For some of you, you need to know that whatever that situation that really kind of holds on to you in a negative light, it's like there will be karma in the situation, okay? And that's going to help you cut the cords, because I'm telling you right now that someone will get their karma, okay? Especially for those of you that are hanging on to something where maybe someone didn't get the punishment that you felt they deserved, or that they didn't get the understanding. Maybe you don't want them to be punished, but maybe it's like they're going to get their comeuppance, you know, that sort of thing. And you will receive the, you know, the karma that you've sown, right? Which, if it's good, it looks like it's good because it looks like the universe and, you know, the world is giving back to you in the next 10 days that you're receiving. We have deep friendship with someone of the same sex as well showing up here, so there could be like a friend around. I also take this as a platonic kind of friendship card. It doesn't have to mean same sex in terms of like, because if you guys are attracted to the same sex, but your deep friendship would be with a, you know, somebody you're just not attracted to. That's how I take this card. Again, I don't consider, okay, because I know that the card's kind of old-fashioned, perhaps, and, you know, it's just assuming, right? So I'm just going to point that out for you. Because we can have deep friendships with the opposite sex, and there's no such card for that. So I'm guessing the author assumed that, you know, this is like platonic or whatever. But, you know, we're in 2022, not, you know, 1922. Okay, anyway. We have mule. Someone's extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. Interesting. In need of help, assistance, and guidance. Yeah, I feel like for those of you especially that are going to need some sort of help, you're getting it, okay? We also have new job or career. Oof, oof. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I dropped two of them. And one of them is an interesting one. Hold on. Money came out twice. Guys, okay, look at this. Unsettled times, need to plan ahead, but we have a path for money is waiting for you to find it. I feel like over the next 10 days, guys, money is somehow coming into the topic. Like somehow money is increasing. There might be a new job on the horizon for you guys, or new possibilities within your current work, okay? However that's going to resonate. Obviously, everyone will have a different situation. But if you're unemployed and you're looking to be employed, or you're looking to pick up more work, if you are a business owner as an example, I can see if you have a thought or a brilliant idea, like a new goal pop up, okay? Be productive towards it, because I feel like this could be something that brings money, okay? So again, if you are thinking about starting some sort of project, okay, it's a path of money, okay? It's going to lead you there. I feel like that there is some sort of money coming through, especially because of that Six of Earth and the money card in my deck coming out. It really makes me feel like some sort of, it might be that you're worried about something in the future, okay? But it's like the money's going to come through is what I'm really getting, okay? Because of all the positive cards surrounding money in this reading, it's like, no, you'll be fine. Now, what's interesting here with the mule, and it says someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. We have goals, productivity, and habits. And I kind of spoke about the idea of about habits kind of needing to be perhaps cut out, right? And you might find yourself like kind of stubbornly holding on to certain habits. But it's like Spirit's like, please cut the cords to this. It's not for you. It's just going to hold you back. Okay. Yeah, that is what I'm getting. I will see about getting one of these cards, like I did for the, I think it was group number 1 or number 2. I can't even remember at this point. And show compassion to yourself as well, okay? I think compassion can be a really big Because maybe with this cutting the cords, it's like you're showing compassion by cutting this off. It's like you're taking care of yourself. You know what I mean? It's like, especially if there's like negative thoughts or negative situations, it's like, you know, like one of my favorite clients, Yasmin, she, you know, once told me something that made me think a lot. And I was like, that's perfect. Would you put your hand in boiling water? It hurts. You'd pull it out, right? And you should do the same with things that are negative for you, right? I know sometimes it's easier, you know, said than done, but if you think about that thought, it makes it a little bit easier to see things in a different light, right? We have pure sight. Are you aware of everything that's going on around you? Take the time for some inner reflection. Improve your ability to notice when people are true to their word. Everything is not always as it seems. Have confidence in your intuitive sight. That's really interesting. I see through appearances and bravely follow my intuition without hesitation. Illusions fall away in front of me. I'm grounded, focused, and courageous. And I'm willing to take the chance to try new things. Wow, that's really interesting. So, knowing when people are, you know, who's good for you and who's not, that's really interesting, especially with cut the cords. Maybe there's certain situations or even people where it's like you give them second chances, third chances, 52nd chances, you know, 75th chance, and, you know, it might be time to cut the cord there. Now, that may not resonate for everyone. If you don't have such a situation, obviously don't try to force it. Okay, it could be like, again, habits or other things. Final message for the next 10 days. So deep friendship coming through, possibilities for a new job or career, money paths ahead. We have follow your dreams and help will find you in unforeseen ways. There is some help coming your way, guys. There really is. That's the biggest thing actually I'm getting out of this reading. It's like we have the happy message, we have the odds in your favor, we have you receiving a gift, we have your money increasing, the Six of Earth, again, helping energy, someone who maybe sees what you're doing and wants to help or encourage. But no, I even feel like really that there's some sort of monetary increase. I really do feel like for some of you, you're finding a job over the next 10 days, or you're going to increase your income or branch out in some way, or there's something good coming. Maybe it's a raise for some of you, or maybe it's a new idea that's really going to be something good, okay? Anyway, especially if you've been unhappy with your current situation, this may also be kind of letting you cut the cords, or it will let you cut those cords that you don't like, you know? But anyway, that is your reading. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading and that you have a beautiful 10 days ahead. I hope I'll see you in the next one. You know, subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to have you around. And if you want to, you know, join as a member here and get some exclusive picket cards, you're more than welcome. And if you want a personal reading, all that information's in the description box. Take care, guys, and I'll see you next time.